Welcome back to the topic on atomic structure. So we are studying this atomic structure. With respect to this atomic structure, we have studied Rutherford's model, Thomson model, Rutherford model, and then the various other concepts like Planck's quantum theory, black body radiation, photoelectric effect, etc. Now let us go for this the improved model that is actually called as the Bohr's model. In this Bohr's model, actually we have the modifications of the Rutherford's model, which is done by this Niels Bohr. So this has been explained by Niels Bohr. According to this Niels Bohr, the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in the various circular paths which are called as the orbits. So these are called the postulates of the Bohr's model. So the first postulate states that electrons are revolving around the nucleus in various circular paths called orbits. So when electron is revolving around the nucleus in a circular path, according to Rutherford model, he did not explain the stability of the electron in the particular orbit. But he states that, this Bohr states that when an electron revolves around the nucleus, the nucleus in circular path, it neither loses energy nor gains energy. So it means when an electron is present in a particular orbit, it is stable. Okay, so energy of each orbit is having definite value. Hence, these orbits are called energy levels. Or these are also called as the stationary paths. So as long as the electron is revolving around the nucleus in a circular path, its energy is constant, or the energy of the electron in that particular orbit is constant, or energy of the orbit is having a definite value. So the next postulate says that only those orbits are allowed in which angular momentum is an integral multiple of h over 2 pi. h is called Planck's constant and pi is another constant. Therefore, it is an integral multiple of this h over 2 pi, a constant value. That is, we can say angular momentum. Angular momentum is equal to, or is given as mvr, that is equal to n into h over 2 pi, where n is having the values like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. That is integer values. When we consider this n is equal to 1, it is h over 2 pi. So angular momentum mvr is equal to h over 2 pi in the first orbit. In the second orbit, it is 2h over 2 pi or h by pi. Similarly, in the third orbit, it is 3h over 2 pi. So, when you consider the angular momentum of the electron in a particular orbit, it is an integral multiple of h over 2 pi, which is a constant value. H is called Planck's constant and pi is 22/7 or 3.14. That is about the fourth postulate. The next postulate is, we can say, when an electron jumps from one orbit to the other, energy is released or absorbed. Energy is released or absorbed. So we can say when the energy of the each orbit is having a definite value. The first orbit, let us say energy is E1. For the second orbit, energy is E2. Third orbit, E3, E4, etc. Then when an electron jumps from one orbit to the other orbit, from lower to the higher energy orbit, it will absorb the energy equal to the difference in the energy levels. Similarly, when the same electron jumps from higher energy level to the lower energy level, it will release the energy. So we can say the explanation for this energy of the electron, that is, the change in energy delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. It is energy of the higher orbit, this is energy of the lower orbit. Say for example, suppose you consider this electron in the first orbit, if it jumps to this second energy level, then the energy absorbed by the electron will be equal to E2 minus E1. If the electron jumps from higher energy level to the lower energy level, same amount of energy is released. That is, delta E is equal to E2 minus E1. So this is about the postulate. When an electron jumps from one orbit to the other orbit, energy is either released or absorbed. Okay. So using these postulates, he proposed that at the center there is a nucleus, as is the case in case of the Rutherford's model also. But there are various circular paths like this around the nucleus in which electrons are revolving with stable energy. So assume that this is the n is equal to 1, it is called K shell. Energy level 2 called as the L shell. Energy level 3 called as M shell. So like that we have various circular paths around the nucleus. When the electron is present in a particular orbit, it is stable but revolving around the nucleus with particular speed. But when an electron jumps from lower to the higher energy level, it absorbs the energy equal to the difference between this E2 and E1. If the electron goes from second energy level to the third energy level, the energy of this one is E3. So it will absorb the energy equal to delta E, that is equal to E3 minus E2. If electron directly jumps from energy level 1 to energy level 3, then delta E is equal to E3 minus E1. and same amount of energy will be released when the electron jumps from higher energy level to the lower energy level. So first orbit, second orbit, third orbit, fourth orbit, like that we have various energy levels. So this is about the model proposed by the Bohr. Niels Bohr modified the model proposed by the Rutherford. But that Rutherford model did not explain the stability. Since these energy levels are quantized, he made use of the Planck's quantum theory. In various orbits, the energy of the electron will be a constant value. So we can have E1, E2, E3, etc. Okay. So from these energy levels, we can calculate energy absorbed or released. So we shall consider the various equations derived by Niels Bohr for the expression to calculate the velocity, radius and energy of the electron in various orbits in the next video. Thank you.